The crumpled receipt slipped into my hand by a bartender wasn't just a bill. It was a map to my wife's secret life, scribbled with a name that wasn't mine and a love note that shattered my world in one heartbeat. I caught my cheating wife after a bartender handed me her leftover bill. I was nursing a whiskey at the Blue Lagoon, a trendy Miami rooftop bar, when the bartender slid the receipt across the counter. It was late, and I'd stopped by after a long day managing my small marketing firm, expecting a quiet night. The bill wasn't mine. I'd only ordered one drink, but the bartender, a wiry guy with a knowing look, muttered, "She left this behind. Thought you should see it." My wife, Sophia, had been here earlier, she'd said, meeting a client for a pitch. The receipt told a different story. It listed 2 martinis, a shared appetizer, and a tip, all charged to her card. But the kicker was the handwritten note at the bottom. "To my darling Luca, next time, let's skip the bar and head straight to the hotel. S." Luca wasn't a client's name I recognized. My gut twisted as I stared at it, the Miami skyline glittering mockingly outside. Sophia and I had been married 6 years, a partnership of laughter and late-night brainstorming sessions, but lately her work trips had stretched into nights away, her excuses laced with a nervousness I'd ignored. This receipt was a neon sign I couldn't unsee. I tracked her phone that night. Yes, we shared a locator app for safety, and found her at a boutique hotel downtown. I drove there, heart pounding, and caught her leaving with a man, tall and polished, laughing as they hailed a cab. I confronted her the next day, the receipt clenched in my fist. "Who's Luca, Sophia?" I demanded. Her face drained of color, and after a long silence, she confessed. Luca was a real estate developer she'd met at a networking event, their pitches a cover for a 3-month affair. The bartender had noticed her with him, recognized me from a photo on her phone, and decided to intervene. The betrayal cut deep. Sophia cried, pleading it was a mistake, that she'd ended it, but the trust was gone. I moved out to a friend's place, wrestling with rage and grief. Our home, once filled with her art and my music, felt like a museum of memories I couldn't touch. I threw myself into work, redesigning campaigns with a fervor that masked my pain. Sophia sent texts, apologies, promises, but I wasn't ready to reply. Weeks later, I returned to the Blue Lagoon, not for answers, but to reclaim the space. The bartender, Javier, approached me. "You okay, man?" he asked. I nodded, showing him the receipt I'd kept, now folded and worn. "Thanks for this," I said. He shrugged. "Saw the look in her eyes with that guy. Didn't sit right." That night, I wrote Sophia a letter. Not of forgiveness, but of closure, acknowledging our past, her mistake, and my need to move on. As I stood on the rooftop, the warm Miami breeze carrying the scent of salt and hope, I tore the receipt into pieces, letting them drift into the night. The skyline sparkled like a promise of new beginnings, and for the first time, I felt the weight lift, not fully healed, but free. Sophia's betrayal had broken my heart, but Javier's small act of kindness had given me the courage to rebuild it, piece by fragile piece, under a sky that whispered of second chances.